Hello and welcome to the April Perl and Raku Community Roundtable. This meeting, as always, is our chance for the different sub-communities of Perl and Raku to come together, talk about what's going on in their part of the worlds, and and share where other people may be able to help. Hopefully, some other folks will join in soon. Um, let's see. From the board news, we have added a new board member. He met with us at our March meeting for the first time. Peregrine um, has joined the board, and we're happy to have him. Looking forward to seeing a lot from him in the coming months once he finds his feet. But that's the big news from the board. We don't have as much going on. We did release the annual report recently with a much more detailed, um, I think, uh, list and description of our activities and funding and money movements and all last year. This is an increased transparency thing, something we're working on. It's an evolution of the prior product, which was the prospectus. And I'm really proud of it. It has come out really good, and it's gotten a lot of good talk. People have said nice things about it, so that's always good. Um,
And Ruth,
yes,
I will echo the good things because I read the whole thing and very much appreciated the transparency.
thank you. You know, it's something that a lot of folks have been asking for, some increased transparency about our money movements. And I looked at the examples of some other programming language foundations and saw what they had done and said, yeah, we could do that. And our new um, management system lets us put that information together very easily. And then it's just, a matter of laying it out on a report. And Stuart did a fantastic job on that part. So we're real happy with it. Thanks a bunch for the good words. Bruce, what is going on in the Raku space?
I'll speak to both Raku and the conference. Uh, on the organizational side of Raku, the roadblock that we had with the notary has been gotten past, whatever the word would be for that. And so we're back with momentum in getting paperwork worked out for the foundation. There's been a new release of Raku, no huge features added, but problems with Raku AST have been resolved, and our library that enables the limitless integer math, can be as big as it needs to by default, has been brought up to the latest version. Those are welcome. For the conference, I can say personally that there are two people working with me on talks that they have not talked to anybody else about that they want to submit for the conference. And by Sarah's calculation, we've about hit the point where if nobody sent any other talks in, we'd be okay. We don't want that because we want, the best of, but it's soothing to me mentally to know that, if everything goes wrong from here on, we've got content to fill all the slots. That's all.
Okay. Stava, how are things in Europe and in your neck of the woods? How are security?
Yeah, so lots of things have been going on in the CPAN security group. Let's see, in the last month or so, if I can remember correctly, I think we spoke maybe about the yearly review being published. That was, I think, a little bit more than a month ago now. We have published a bunch of CVEs through the CVE Numbering Authority, and have a queue in the pipeline, so we should expect more to come there. The most important preparations that we as a group are working on right now is for the Perl Toolchain Summit in Vienna, which will be in full operation by next week, as of this recording. So we'll start at the 23rd and be going for 4 days in a row, with talking about and addressing issues around the CPAN itself, tooling, security, lots of security, and some experience sharing and gathering around what Todd shared last time, with the use of AI tools for development and finding securities issues. Can't go too much into details there, but maybe next meeting we'll be able to share something on what's going on there. Other than that, we have quite a lot of activity going on, but we're also finding out that there is actually a lot to do. So I have to repeat the call to action to anybody who watches and listens to this. If you are a Perl CPAN maintainer, or somebody who uses it and knows security, and both application security and all the kinds of aspects around there, or compliance, or metadata and SBOMs and whatever, we would love to have you around in the chat and your contributions. So please show up, and instructions on how to join our different channels is on the CPANSec website, which is security.metacpan.org. Other than that, we were a bit stressed out. There's a couple of developments lately in the news around some AI tooling that certain US companies have announced that we are afraid will result in a massive influx in security and vulnerability reporting. And we're looking at ways to handle this onslaught that we are expecting in the coming months. And so we're especially in need of help here, but we'll see how that goes. This will be one of the hot topics at the Perl Toolchain Summit, I expect. So that's, I think, what I have to share for today.
Okay, thank you so much. And Salva, I hope you have a great time at the Toolchain Summit. I wish I was going this year. I just chomped at the bit wishing I could, but alas, this year just is not working out for me. I hope to see you next year. Next up is Emmanuel, and I got your document, a fantastic kind of précis of activities from the Mongers this last year, and I gotta say I'm super impressed. You guys just kill it over there, uh, just doing amazing things, and I'd love for you to give some of those bits to the community in this. So, what's going on in your world?
Well, what's going on? I've been mainly playing catch up with some of the things I should have done at the beginning of the year. Some of these are taking the report I made for the Monger de Perl at the general meeting in February, and translating it into English and sending it to you, so that you know what we're doing. I have been busy with getting companies that use Perl in France to contribute to the Perl Foundation. This is so I prepared a letter and I prepared an email, and this is something I should send out in the beginning of next week to the companies that I know use Perl a lot and that could benefit from making a contribution to the Perl Foundation.
Excellent.
The Mongol de Perl have finally gotten around to updating their website. I say updating their website, but this mainly consistent of removing anything that was dated 2019 and previously, because one of our members complained that our website made it look like we were no longer active. So we did that, and meanwhile, Book and Laurent have been working on the Pro Toolkit Summit, and I know that Laurent is already thinking of where will PTS 2027 take place, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you so much. Your list of things, I'll be passing that on to the board later today, just so they can be as edified by it as I was. It really encouraged me greatly to see lots of great activities you guys have been in the last year or so. Quite aside from, consistently being the lead organizers for the Toolchain Summit. And that's a ton of work on its own, but so much else you're doing. And I appreciate it. And I'm delighted to hear about it. Next up, our last up at the moment, the worn out conference exhauster. Dib, you're up.
Yep. Hi everyone, first time joining. Uh, what do you expect from me? uh,
How are our preparations for next week's Toolchain Summit?
um, I have plenty of topics. Emmanuel was talking about Perl Chain Summit, which I'm also helping organizing. Not lately but earlier I was more involved in that. Um, Lately I'm more involved in porting, Perl porters, and Ted Smoke, still a bit of Sepansec with I see Salve is there. Uh, um, and yeah, plenty of plans on my side for the PTS was tough year for me, so I did not prepare prepare as I wanted for the PTS this year, but we will make it good use of it, and I'm also currently seeing we have late joiners of people that are close to the event that I'm checking with Philippe or Laurent if they can still join just for a day or anything. Talking about Lucas, who said recently that it will be in the same town and even the same building at his hardcore porter coder. So definitely it would be nice if we can visit the event. Even just for seeing Leon, Carl will be there. Leonard will be there, so other porters, very beneficial for all of us and him. We have just recently Happy Barney, which seems to be really involved in GitHub Actions side of things, and I'm trying to see if I can meet with him in a call before the event and see how much he's involved, what's the plan he has for GitHub Actions, and it will be not that far of the event, so maybe see if he can join for a day or something. So some organizational things, and I have still technical things on my side. Uh, since that's the first time I'm joining, so in Sepansec, I'm really looking at the supply chain topics with others, with Leon, with Salve, and etc. And on the other side, I'm really involved into testing the Perl core, release management, etc. So I don't know what else to
All
share.
right.
But I'm a bit sad that you don't join this year.
I'm a bit sad about it too.
Yeah,
I considered it, and with the new job I just recently
yeah,
took here, it
yeah.
kind of keeps me from traveling. Ironically, that full-time going to the office thing is about to change again, and I won't be traveling to the office as much. I'll be working from home more and kind of set my own schedule. So if I was getting told today that, the summit is coming up in a couple of months, you want to come out, I'd probably say yes,
Mm,
because I would be able to. But so hopefully, I'd love to see you guys again next year.
yeah. But you see what you initiated with Ferky and others,
Oh, it was
it's
amazing.
it's bearing fruits.
It
So
is
it
bearing a
restarted to
ton of fruit.
we had 1 or 2 years of lot of instability on Sepan testers, and it's back on track with developments. It's maybe not perfect, but it it made
It's
it.
being
I
addressed,
mean,
and it's
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
being
exactly.
being touched, and
Yeah.
that is a beautiful
So,
thing. I'm
so
still so proud to have been a part of that influx of energy
yeah,
into
yeah,
that. That was really neat. And of course last year, I mean, it's a you go from can until can't every day. It's the most exhausting conference I've ever been to. It was amazing, and wonderful in so many ways. Um, a, a word about Dancer 2. We recently, just before our last meeting, had a new release of Dancer 2. There have been a number of bugs pop up, and the Dancer community is working hard on those, but we're seeing lots of progress on picking the nits out of it. There are some, and as we kind of expected, because we've got a pretty big change, some pretty big changes in there. Um, but that's coming along nicely, and folks from across the community have contributed useful code to that. Salva, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I have a little bit more to share. Last meeting, I mentioned that the German Pro Workshop was about to happen, and it did happen. I was there. It was actually very nice. The new feature this year, I don't know if this will be repeated, was that the venue was inside a church. Never been to a open source event inside a church ever, so this was the first for me. So the acoustics were really great. And, lots of people there. The social events were really nice, and it was extremely good to see lots of friendly faces there and a couple new ones. So if anybody, as I've been telling people that I'm speaking, is that the German Perl workshop has kind of turned into the premier Perl event in Europe these days. Now we can probably discuss that the London Perl workshop has a role to play also there, but this is what we have now, and anybody who is interested in the long-term sustainability and the ecosystem and the language and the tooling and the people, they should definitely already set aside the Perl toolchain. No, the German Perl workshop next year. I don't think we have a date for next year yet, but if I remember, we have a location. It will be. Oh no, it's a town starting with H. It's the city where um, Julian Feehan, Zimbabwe, comes from. Heidelberg? I don't remember. So I'm really looking forward to that in any case. I heard stories from last time he organized something there and it seemed very fun. Um, uh, on a more personal note, I gave a talk at the German Pearl Workshop with the initial presentation of what I would like to propose to be a steward organization for the Perl and CPAN ecosystem. The recordings for the German Pearl Workshop isn't out yet, but slides for that talk has been published on the CPAN-SEC website. And the core idea, which I'm starting to look for people who are interested to engage with me on, is to set up a dedicated non-profit cooperative to handle the compliance and security requirements coming from the Cyber Resilience Act that will affect users of Perl and CPAN, and if their software, their products somehow involve Perl, they'll be asked to ensure its quality and compliance. And the steward organization is meant to be a facilitator for that. And the reason I'm proposing this to be a non-profit cooperative is that I would love to see that the cooperative is community owned. It's owned by the different organizations, Perlmonger groups, communities that are maintaining services that we depend on, and any tooling or module or project that is being published on CPAN. This would, of course, be limited by the projects that are actually in use in industry. So this will have to be informed by manufacturers telling us what they need and which projects they would require the assurances and attestations from that we would provide. And there's interesting discussion around how this is going to look. So we have already a channel in the TPRF Slack for discussing this. It's right now, it recently changed the name to CPAN-Steward, and of course, everybody who listens to this is welcome to join there and figure out if this is interesting. And if all goes well, we'll have a discussion on this topic also at the Perl Toolchain Summit and gather the troops eventually so we can figure out if we want to create this organization. Lots of interesting details there, and if anyone wants to know more, please reach out to me. Yes, that's what that's the final thing I have to share for today.
All right.
Thank you.
That is a development I've been kind of keeping an eye on because you've been talking about something like that and for more than a year, because we talked about it at Toolchain last year. And I'm delighted to see that taking shape and turning into action at this point. In light of European regulations and no doubt regulations that will follow elsewhere, it'll be so useful. Okay,
Oh
do
yeah,
we have anything? Go
it'll
ahead.
be necessary. Like if we
Yeah,
don't have it, it would be a signal to the rest of the world that it's not possible to be compliant with using Perl, and that would be a catastrophe.
yeah, that would be bad
Nobody wants that.
for a lot of
Yeah.
folks.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything else anyone has for the good of the community at this time? Okay, hearing nothing, we will adjourn until the third Friday of next month, which I believe is May 15th. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah, May 15th. We will see you then. Um, Same time and same channel. Everyone have a lovely day and we'll see you soon. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye bye,
you.
folks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.